Would we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Olaf Morris.
Here.
Commissioner Maurice Mabon.
Present.
Commissioner Darnell Lyle.
Present.
Commissioner William Cook.
Present.
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present.
Interim Executive Director Brenda Scott Henry.
Present.
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Pursuant to Indiana law, section 514, 1-6.1, I certify that prior to the start of today's meeting, there was an executive session held, and there was nothing discussed in the executive session that was not indicated on the postal notice of the executive session. And being in compliance with the Indiana statute, there were no final votes held during the executive session. Does the board consent to that? Hearing none, we'll continue. Attorney Harris, Harris, can we get receipts of proposals for the uniform and mats?
Yes. There was a request for proposals that was issued for the rental of uniforms and mats, and I'll open these now. You can call to see if there's anyone else that has one to submit.
Is there anyone else with proposals for the mats and the uniforms?
Okay. If for some reason you don't hear that I read yours off, just let me know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Attorney Harris.
A question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What uniforms are we talking about, the proposals? Is
Anyone
Mr.
want to speak to that?
Mr. Causey here?
You're welcome.
For the rental of uniforms for staff that wear uniforms on a daily basis, that include our operation, maintenance, collections, any other department, lab has coats, security.
Is this the same, didn't we do a proposal 3 or 4 months ago for uniforms?
Yes, we went back out again.
We rejected the previous
So we-
proposals?
Correct.
So where was the rejection?
There was no agreement that was ever entered into, so they went back out for proposals.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wasn't aware of that.
Yes.
You are now.
Right, the first proposal was submitted by Vestas. Let's see. This isn't a flat fee amount, but I did want to at least say where the company was from, so I'm kind of looking for that now. It looks like they're a national corporation, but outside of that, I don't see exactly where their location is. All right, so that's the first proposal from Vestas. You won't hear any numbers read off for this proposal because of the nature of it, so I'll just let you know who they're received from. Or it looks like Vestas separated theirs out. There's a separate proposal that was submitted by Vestas. I don't know what's in this one. Looks like they separated the uniforms and the mats. So they've submitted 2 separate proposals. Yep. Next proposal was submitted by Alsco Uniforms. And it looks like they're in Chicago, Illinois. Again, Alsco is ALSCO Uniforms. Next proposal was submitted by Centos for both uniforms and mats.
I'm sorry for us, sit down on the board. No worries. I sent you an email, so I
The last proposal was submitted by UniFirst, and they're located in Hammond, Indiana. Madam Chair, I recommend referring these to staff for review and reporting at the next board meeting. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Now, may we have a motion for the acceptance of our minutes?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to accept the minutes for the executive session and regular meeting minutes of September 4, 2024.
Second.
It has been motioned and accepted. And second, Madam Chair, may we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you. For new business, 2.1, we'll start with Jerome for the payroll.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve and ratify GSD payroll earnings for period ending August 12, 2024 through August 25, 2024, in the amount of $259,214.44.
You've heard the motion. Is there a second?
We're asking for a motion.
That was the overview. And the
Oh,
chair's
I'm
looking for,
sorry.
and the chair's looking for a motion.
Yeah, now may we have a motion?
So moved.
Right. Okay.
I second it.
Okay, it has been so moved and properly second. Roll call, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles,
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon,
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes?
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
A motion carries for 2.1. At 2.2, a motion to approve,
Okay.
2.2. Brenda, can we have an overview on the 2.2?
Yes, we have a motion to approve task order number 44, amendment number 2 to the master service agreement between Gary Sanitary District and American Structure Point for Phase 3 engineering of the 27th and Chase Pump Station Force Main Replacement Project in an amount not to exceed $153,700. The reason why we pulled this task order out separately is because of the funding sources. We are now receiving funding from Indiana Finance Authority to cover the cost for this, for the implementation of this project. In the past, we've used Section 219 funding from the Army Corps of Engineers. But Cola, if you have any additional information that you would like to share about this particular item on the agenda, please.
Yeah, I would just like for the board to know that the project 27th and Chase force main replacement is a project that extends from the 27th and Chase pump station all the way to 19th Avenue and Chase. And the project is divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 and Phase 2 are tied to the Army Corps of Engineers, tied to 219 funding. And this Phase 3 is tied to the IFA, SRF funding that's just been addressed by the Executive Director, Brenda. So it's This phase 3 is just exclusively for the IFA, and the IFA is closing next year, April. So really, the time is of essence to get this project ready for closing.
And this is one of the projects, item 2.2 and 2.3 are tied to the long-term control plan. So these are projects that we do need to get the PER, the professional engineering report, so that we can apply for funding in April to Indiana Finance Authority to do the improvements.
Do you have any questions? Attorney, you just mentioned the 2.3, should we put that together? Okay. May I have a motion for 2.2, please?
So moved.
A second.
Second, it has been approved and second.
Yes.
Call for the vote. Oh, thank you. Call for the vote, please. Madam Chair?
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
4 ayes and 0 noes, the motion is carried. 2.3,
2.3 is a motion to approve task order number 53 to the master service agreement between the Gary Sanitary District and American Structure Point for engineering services for 15th and Clay Pump Street grit removal system replacement in amount not to exceed $159,720. Cola, do you have an additional information you want to share?
Yes, I would like to add that this is also tied to the IFA SRF funding, and it's also part of the long-term control plan for the reduction of the CSO.
any questions? Thank you. May we have a motion for approval for 2.3?
So moved.
A second.
Did I get a second?
Yes.
Okay, it has been moved in second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
With the motion of 4 ayes and, the motion has carried. Number 3, Mr. Jerome, are we ready for our claim?
Yes. Thank you. I make a motion to approve and ratify GSD claim numbers 2240 through 2314 in the amount of $788,919.97.
Thank you. Any questions on the claim?
Yeah, I do have a question. I don't know who this would go to. Mr. Foster, if it goes to you or if it goes to engineering, but I noticed we have Rowell Chemicals on here that we're constantly paying. That contract expired on August, that contract was entered into August of 2023 and expired August of 2023. Why haven't we went it out to bid for this? I think we made a statement at one of the last meetings that they have reduced cost in that, but these chemicals need to go out for bid because if we're continuing after this contractual period, then what does that say about their performance bond? You know, the performance bond, attorney, am I correct that that performance bond is for a year, it expired?
Typically, that'd be true. I think we just need an answer to the question of, have we agreed to extend that agreement, or have there been any arrangements made, Cola?
Is this regarding chemical? I think the chemical was maybe the 2023 probably was a contract in the previous contract, because the contract was signed into was 2023 and doesn't expire, I think, until 2025.
No, it's a one-year contract. We go out to bid for chemicals every year. And I think that we made a comment, one of the past meetings, that there, I don't know if it was you or somebody said, well, they reduced the chemical price, but you can't reduce the chemical price. We agreed to a certain price. The contract ends. The contract should be expired, and so I don't know why this product hasn't come back before the board for bid. We bid the chemicals every year, and so if you go back and take a look at the contract for chemicals, they've already expired. It's a yearly contract, and so by us extending the contract, we're also allowing them to go beyond the one-year period in which they don't have to present with us a performance bond, because I'm pretty sure the performance bond's already expired also.
So we'll take a look at that, but my understanding from a couple of people is that it's a 2-year contract, but let us confirm that. Do you want us to pull that?
You can confirm it because I've got a copy of the
You got
the
it?
bid here.
Okay. We'll put it out to bid.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, then can we get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second it, Mr. Chair.
It's been approved in second. Roll call. Hold on.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles?
Yes.
Commissioner Rayburn?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes,
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
with 4 ayes and 0 noes, the motion carries. Next up is information updates. Plant operation.
Yeah, I think I would like to speak on the issue of our consent decree as it relates to the long-term control plan. The last board meeting, I did report that we received a letter from the Department of Justice and the regulators. We responded to the letter, and we also had meeting with the DOJ and the regulators last Friday. We made it clear to the regulators that the plant is actually permitted for 60 mgd average flow, peak flow of 120 mgd, and it's looking like it's going to be almost not feasible or impossible to get to 180 mgd because our permit, NEPID's permit, is for 60 mgd, 120 peak. And it's going to affect, our processing may be not compliant. There are other things that are going to be affected by it. We made our case, and they said they're going to be reviewing it and then get back with us. So we still will be, maybe the next meeting, they will let us know their own position. We're still making improvements regarding the processes in the plant, and we are doing a whole lot of repair work also in the plant. I think that's all I have for now. If you have any questions, please answer.
Can I add that there's some additional information that will be presented before the board? The regulators asked, excuse me. So the regulators did ask that we go back before the Indiana Finance Authority to maximize the amount of funding that we will request, which is $20 million. Indiana Finance Authority and the regulators was a part of the meeting that we had with Indiana Finance Authority because they wanted to, ensure or get the information from Indiana Finance Authority directly. But what the regulators are guiding us toward is making sure that we have enough PERs available for the April funding cycle for Indiana Finance Authority. So the two items that we had on the agenda would help us to move toward creating a pipeline of PERs so that we can continuously request this funding. We understand that we also have the financial capability assessment that is being prepared by Burns and McDowell, who will help determine the affordability of the projects that have been approved, partially approved by the Department of Justice. But we just want to make sure that we let you know what the direction that we're being guided through, and then that we are doing what is being asked of us to comply with our regulators.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you. Okay, constructions, Eric?
Good afternoon, Board. Just going to give a brief update on current construction projects. The first one is still the grid improvements project. I have not heard back from the Army Corps of Engineers on the litigation. Last I heard, there's still like 3 outstanding items that I guess they're still working out, trying to resolve, so that's still in the hands with the Army Corps of Engineers. The 27th Chase Street Pump Station Force Main Replacement Project. When I wrote this report, there's about 100 feet left of force main to be installed, along with installing some taps so they can tie the new force main into the existing force main. In order for this project to be considered complete, the new pipe has to be in use, so they're making those taps this week. They're also will be installing some air relief, one air release valve, I believe, along this line. And this project is still closely on schedule. It's going to be, they may have to run a little long, but it shouldn't be too much longer before restoration work begins. For the 27th Chase Street bar screen replacement project, there are about 11 items, on punch list items, there's a lot of cleaning. Some covers on conduits have to be installed. One of the big items would be the SCADA connection of the bar screens back here to the plant. That has been completed. And some floor grading to get to the bar screens on the main floor is also the major item on that punch list. And the contractor should be on site to begin working on this punch list. The Lake Street Improvements Project, this is the stormwater project. They installed the stormwater chambers just north of Hemlock. They're working on some of the other infrastructure, the inlets, and tying the stormwater infrastructure into those storm chambers. And they're going to continue with this for the remainder of the week. This project is also on schedule and should be completed on November 2024. And I did update the amount they have billed so far, which is $4 million. I have also added the US 20 Complete Street projects on this list. Gary Material Supplies has mobilized, well, Homer Tree Service has mobilized regarding the removal of trees so they can start the construction of their retention pond. We're working with local utilities to begin the relocations of these utilities. This work should begin shortly. And just to let you know, American Structure Point agreement with the utilities is under the design phase, so we still have a contract to coordinate with the utilities on this project.
Yeah, and that's a stormwater project.
Stormwater project, yes, yeah. The US 20 Complete Street is a stormwater project.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
No, but Eric, I understand, I wasn't formally made aware, but I understand you're going to be leaving, moving on. And I just want to thank you for your service.
That's not on the agenda. Are there any other questions?
No, you can ask questions.
You may say.
No, that's not,
You may have a seat.
Thank you.
like I said, commissioners can thank you for your service.
Structure point?
It doesn't have to be on the agenda, but thanks for your service. Oh, she's so feisty.
Hey, Tom, I concur with that.
And do it outside.
Already done.
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
Mr. Comer's back.
Oh, go ahead.
Jim Zarnik from American Structure Point. Good afternoon, commissioners and staff. Just want to give an update on a couple of projects that we're conducting design on. First of all is 27th and Chase. We're in the midst of completing those plans for the project. We're making good headway on the specifications, 80% complete on the front-end documents and 20% complete on the technical specifications. We're also working on the structural design. Then the second project is Ambridge Man. We had a meeting with the staff a couple weeks ago, and we've coordinated and gotten some information, just making sure that we've got scope right. So we thank the staff for that. In addition, we're making progress on the real estate plan, utility coordination, and then the drafting of the plans is underway. We're about 20% complete on the technical specifications. And that's the end of my update.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up is discussions. That's for us to do any accolades or have any discussion that we want. And I do concur, Mr. Tom. Very pleasure working with you, and I hope you're going to be happy in your endeavors. There's a time and place for everything. Any other discussions? Request to speak? No. No request to speak. May I ask for an adjournment, please?
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. We're adjourned for the next 10, 15Call the meeting to order, please. Roll call. Sorry, I should have looked.
Director Ola Morris.
Present.
Director Maurice Maybon. Present. Director Darnell Lyle.
Present.
Director William Cook.
Present.
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present.
Interim Executive Director Brenda Scott Henry.
Present.
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
Thank you. The next up is for the approval of our minutes.
I make a motion to approve the executive session and regular meeting minutes of September 4, 2024.
Can I get a motion?
I second it.
Did I get a second?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call, Madam.
Director Cook.
Yes.
Director Lyles.
Yes.
Director Maybon.
Yes.
Director Morris.
Yes.
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
4 ayes, 0 noes. 1.1 passes. New business. Mr. Jerome?
Actually, be a little correction on this here. But I make a motion to approve and ratify GSWMD payroll earnings for period ending August 12th, 2024 through August 25th, 2024, in the amount of $8,328.60.
So the updated agenda was $1,000 too high.
Yes.
So according to the supporting documentation in the board packet, it indicates $8,328.60. And so It's just a typo on the agenda. And because the previous report that you received had the right amount on it, it's just a typo.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
Friggin' wrong, it's updated and wrong.
okay. Can we get a motion for approval for 2.1?
So
I
moved.
have a question.
Uh-oh, question?
Yeah, I'd like to know what the increase was about, the $1,138.35.
It was just a mistake on the updated agenda.
It was a typo.
Yeah.
Your supporting documentation shows $8,328.60.
That was on, that was on the old agenda. That's the correct amount.
So it's just a typo.
Yeah, but it's still increased.
Well, I was looking at the net increase or decrease.
Oh, he's talking about
Oh, the
over
net
the
increase.
80,
Okay.
whatever, that total.
Oh, so we have a compliance and enforcement officer that was hired as paid and partial of, that's split between GSD and Gary Stormwater Management District. Okay.
So I have a question too. Can we, and this is for you, Mr. Harris. We spent money on pencil cases for back to school and charging cords for back to school. That's a total of $2,012.55. Can we legally do this?
I'm not familiar with the program, so maybe if we can get a
So-
overview of what the program is?
Yes, so although it's not payroll, we're on payroll, not on claims yet, but on the claims list, as a part of our public education and outreach, we do buy trinkets and giveaways with educational messages on them, and we distributed them to the public.
Yeah, they're stormwater branded?
They're stormwater branded.
Yeah, it is a common practice.
Like pollution prevention messages, clean water, life essential types of messages. And that complies with our NEPID's permit for public education and outreach and public participation and involvement.
We're still on claims. Can we get a motion?
But we're on payroll, actually.
Yeah.
I don't
Can-
think any students are paying a sanitary district bill, though.
Okay.
That's really my concern.
Are we still on payroll, if you don't mind me asking?
And we're on stormwater, we're not in GSD, we're in
we're on payroll.
stormwater.
Mr. Jerome, would you give us an overview of, for payroll, please?
Oh, we done with that, we need to call for the motion.
Oh, now it's ready for the
just need a
question? Oh, they were just
Well,
questioning the wrong
Mr.
thing?
Mr.
Okay.
I had a question on payroll, if it's okay. Mr. Foster, how do we split a payroll between stormwater and GSD?
For compliance purposes, both have a NEPID's permit, which means that we have enforcement and compliance for both
Entity.
entities.
Okay, don't we have to do, is it in-house, don't you have to do some sort of an amendment to that, attorney? Don't you have to do
Overall,
a resolution?
I think your question gives rise to a kind of a more general question. To the extent we have any employees who are shared between GSD and GSWMD, we should look at having an MOU for any shared services we have.
Can you
I think
make
it's a
sure we
broader
have
issue.
that?
Yes,
Next board meeting?
yes.
please?
Actually, that would be your whole engineering and collections.
It's a
all
big deal,
department.
right?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, it's not just this, it's a broader issue, but yes.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
You need a motion.
Can we get a motion now?
So moved.
Second, please.
I second it, Madam Chair.
It's been moved in second, 2.1. Roll call.
Director Cook,
Yes.
Director Lyles,
Yes.
Director Maybon,
Abstain.
Director Morris.
Yes,
The vote is 3 ayes and 1 abstention.
3 ayes and 1 abstention.
Yes.
2.1 passes.
We're into claims.
Now, we
Thank you.
okay, and now we do claims.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve and ratify GSW MD claim numbers 136 through 145 in the amount of $852,833.19. You will notice a significant increase in the claims per the agreement that we did with ARPA funds for the Grimmer project. This would be the Lake Street Drainage Improvement. Those payments will be approved by the board, so that's why they're on the claims list, but they will have no effect cash value. So, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware why is it so high.
Heard the overview. Are there any questions? If none, roll call.
Did we,
We need a motion.
You need a motion.
Yeah. Need a motion. So moved.
Oh,
Need a second?
yeah.
I'll second that for you.
You're doing
Second,
good.
please.
We got a second.
Got a second? Now, 3.1 has, need a roll call for 3.1, please.
Director Cook,
Yes.
Director Lyles,
Yes.
Director Maybach,
Yes.
Director Morris.
Yes,
The vote is 4 ayes, 0 noes.
4 ayes and 0 noes, a 3.1 passes. Now, it's information updates.
Okay. For information update, you'll find in your package that we have the monthly report for stormwater for the month of August 1st through the 31st. You will see also in that report updates from each of the MCMs, including public education and outreach, public involvement, illicit discharge and detection elimination, construction activities, and pollution prevention, and good housekeeping. One of the items that I would like to bring to your attention is the report that the floodplain management services report for Black Oak that was done by the Army Corps of Engineers. In this report, that was Eric Tonk, Kola Owasaka, and myself, along, I think at the time, Rhonda Anderson also participated, but we did an actual on-the-ground assessment of the area with the Army Corps of Engineers, walked through to look at our conveyance system to see how water flows there. And we discovered, of course, as we suspected, that there is the drainage for this particular area doesn't lead the water back to the to the Little Calumet River. There's a lot of stagnation, and then there's a lot of areas where this conveyance system has been compromised by either, residents are doing the best that they can to make sure that their property doesn't flood. But what this project eventually identifies is that there are some things that the Stormwater Management District can do to help with the conveyance of stormwater, and that is doing a maintenance project. And that maintenance project could include us clearing out the ditches. And so we've talked with our collections department. There's a piece of equipment that we need in order to do this. It's called a grader, but it would help us to manage the stormwater in our conveyance system in the Black Oak area. So I just encourage you to just kind of take a look at the report. We didn't do the entire Black Oak, but there's a section that we did from Burr Street all the way over to Klein, and from 21st Avenue up to 25th Avenue. This is one of the critical areas where we have flooding. But the goal is to eventually put together a proposal that will, a service, a scope of services that will allow us to channel that stormwater that is trapped in Black Oak and direct it to the Grand Calumet River. Attorney Monroe and myself attended the council meeting on last Tuesday, was it Tuesday? Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. And we did do an overview for the planning subcommittee. And we did present the stormwater ordinance. At that time, there was some questions, but Attorney Monroe, do you have anything extra you would like to add on what we've done with the status that we are at with the ordinance?
At this time, I would just think that the ordinance should pass on at the next meeting. We did stress the fact that we wanted this to be completed so that it would be available to be in the new documents that the clerk is going to have. And I think everything went well. We'll see on, I believe,
Yeah.
tomorrow when they have their meeting, or, yeah, I believe their meeting, their council meeting maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, council meeting is tomorrow, 17. Yes. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond.
Any questions? Thank you. 4.2, American Structure Point.
Good afternoon, Board. John Tugger, American Structure Point, here for an update for our Lake Street drainage project. The drainage chambers have been installed. They are currently working on storm sewer from Hemlock to the lagoon. They anticipate having that done this week, and then they'll start grading the roadway and first lift of base potentially next week, and curb and gutter and concrete work starting middle of next week to the end of next week. The goal is to get from Hemlock to the lagoon open so that we could then continue north of the lagoon with some, we'll have to use a temporary signal to convey traffic over the lagoon, but continue to move north to get this project done. That is pretty much everything we have going on right now. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
John, what's the end date on this project?
End of November.
2024?
2024 so far, yes.
You guys on schedule for that?
They are. I anticipate if we have any loose ends, there'll be some restoration work, but the goal is to get everything paved, concrete work complete, cycle track complete, and maybe some miscellaneous restoration work. So far, so good.
How far north?
We go to it'll be the south entrance of the maintenance building there that used to be the armory there, National Guard. We don't go all the way to the beach, but south entrance.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
4.3.
You ready? Waiting on you to call his name.
Robinson Engineering, I'm so sorry.
Good afternoon, Directors. Ron Smith.
You guys are giving me a hard time today.
Good afternoon, Directors. Ron Smith with Robinson Engineering. Just a couple of quick updates. Bridge number 243 on Lake Street. We have a meeting with the contractor tomorrow to go over final quantities, and we will establish a meeting date to go over punch list items, and then that project will be wrapped up. Once we do solidify that date, we will email that over to the engineering department, so that way Gary Stormwater Management District can be involved in the punch list walkthrough. The City of Gary Community Crossings paving, they are currently milling on Massachusetts and also on Central, and we coordinate daily with the Gary Stormwater Management District on the drain structure adjustments or any pipe replacements. So that is going very well. That's all I have this afternoon. I'll entertain any questions that the directors may have.
No questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, for discussion, does any board member have anything they would like to discuss?
I would like to know, the lawyer that came here the last meeting, how's that being handled in terms of his getting his project?
You're directing your question to who?
Probably Cola.
And, okay.
Or Mr. Tunk, I don't know.
Yeah, I met with him actually during the stormwater session, and then we agree on what he had to do, and then I think I spoke with Eric to follow up on it. So, have you received anything from him?
I've not received anything. He's preparing some drawings for review.
Okay.
And he concurred with our recommendation.
So, did you guys give him an easier path, or you got to tear down Ferry's wall?
Easier path.
Easier, more
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Discussion? No more discussion? Do you have a request to speak?
No, ma'am.
Request to speak. Adjournment?
Second.
We now adjourn. Yes.
Good job. Good job.
Bless you. Thank
Yep,
you.
yep.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.